Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Bitch Bible Podcast. We are amidst the holiest week of the year for us Jews, where we reflect, we repent, we ask for forgiveness, and we just think about how we want to operate, moving forward. And I've always preached authenticity and transparency, and, it would be a disservice to my community to not share kind of what I've been going through in this past week. It's been really difficult. And, I pride myself on being someone that is resilient, someone that perseveres, someone that triumphs in the face of adversity and challenges and really rises to the occasion with grace, finesse, and humility. But I think that it's really important on this platform to share what I'm really going through, because if one woman in her car, listens and feels seen and heard, then I've done my job. And I just want to reiterate, I am not a victim by any means. And despite being so thin, so gorgeous, so talented, at so many things, successful, a real light amidst darkness, that I too struggle. For the past 5 days, I have been sans Andrew and sans Rosa, my housekeeper. Andrew is on tour with Thomas Rhett. I don't know where. Last night we got into a huge fight because he said he was in Washington and he was backstage, and I said, "Oh, has he not gone on stage yet?" And he goes, "No." And I said, "Wow, it's really late." And he's like, "It's not late." And I said, "You're in Washington. Like, this is a family-friendly show. Doesn't he usually go on by 9?" He said, "Jackie, Washington is in the same time zone." I said, "Andrew, don't embarrass me, okay? I know where Washington is. I toured in Washington." He said, "Jackie, we're on the same side of the country." I said, "No, Andrew, I was just there." And he says, "Washington, D.C. and Washington are two separate places." And I said, "Riddle me this. My 5th grade teacher, Mrs. Murphy, went blind and or deaf, so I don't know geography, Andrew." And I tried to pick a fight because I'm just carrying the weight of the world on these brittle shoulders. And he said, "Love you, honey. I'm not doing this." And I said, "What a luxury. What a luxury." And to make matters worse, my housekeeper, Rosa, tells me last week that coincidentally she's leaving on the same day that Andrew's leaving me. Full abandonment issues because she's going to Tijuana to get a facelift. I said, "Didn't you just get an upper left surgery that left me high and dry for a week's time?" She said, "Yes." But you know what? And that's just where we're at. So I don't want you to feel sorry for me because once again, not a victim, but I just want you to know that I am out here braving this house and this child by myself, okay? Like a rising motherfucking phoenix. And if you don't get that that's sarcasm, then I'd like you politely to stop listening to this podcast because it's only about to get worse, baby cakes. A silver lining amidst my trauma. I was pulling into the neighborhood. Me and Clyde just had a gorgeous deli lunch. I never go to the deli because I feel like my local deli, it just smells weird. And I feel like somebody's going to drop dead any second. Everyone there is so old, which is kind of a reason to go because you're like the young, shiny toy amidst, the oxygen tanks. But I just don't want to I don't want to witness a passing whilst having a Reuben sandwich. You know what I mean? But it just felt really good. It sounded good. So I went and I got a hot pastrami Reuben. Clyde got a sensible quesadilla with steamed broccoli, mother of the year. And as we were pulling back into the home so that I could take Clyde back for a nap, the paramedics entered the neighborhood. And, these houses in my neighborhood, they're slim pickings. They barely make it to market. They get swooped up quickly. And I've kind of been fantasizing. I've been fantasizing about two things. First, I want to flip a house because specifically in this neighborhood, so I can like walk on over, I can get a martini and my little plastic martini glass, and then I can put on my New Balances and I can walk over to the site, to check in on things and just really get some creative sea legs out on a home. I know these houses really well. I know the good ones. I know the bad ones. The good ones go fast. The bad ones kind of loiter around. Some of these get a little choppy. Okay. Some of these houses are just bad floor plans. Okay. And they're all different. I don't know what the terminology is for that, but they're not track homes. So, but like there's certain builders that I kind of know. There's like, I've gone into houses in this neighborhood that are the same builder as this house, and there's a flow, okay? And those ones go, go, go. So I'm thinking if I could get like a good deal, I could flip a Rooney one of these homes in the neighborhood and just really get some energy out, get a project going. So when I saw the paramedics turn into the neighborhood, I started getting really excited because it wasn't just one, it wasn't just two, it was three, okay? And I followed them. I was hot on their trail. And I thought, is it in poor taste to follow the paramedics around the neighborhood to see if there was a death? So maybe I could swoop in on a grieving family, put in a great offer, and then have a little side hustle, a little side project. Maybe, or I'm just a businesswoman. Now, the problem is that Clyde started nodding off, so I had to kind of cut things short. So I didn't see if there was a stretcher or not, but I will check back in a few hours when he wakes up. My second thing that I've been floating. What if I opened a concept store? I saw that there was my favorite little center very close to Clyde's school. Close by my house, they have all these like amazing curated like home decor stores and an antique mall and great restaurants. And it's just the cutest fucking center, great matcha. And they have a vacancy. And I was like, what if I get in there? Okay. And I start slinging curated antiques, fake cigarettes, pajamas, like a maximalist fever dream with minimal touches, like the best white t-shirt, okay? All at a very affordable, but then do I really want to run it? Yes. Am I just having like a Nancy Myers fever dream? I don't know. Sometimes I get bored and then I just think about other things, in all of my free time. Oh my God. Let's talk shit because Off-Brand October starts next week. So I would just like to utilize the opportunity to be myself. And since I'm going through a hard time, I would like to talk kind of just like gross shit. You know what I mean? Like I went to lunch with my girlfriends yesterday. It was my friend Electra's birthday. And I said to them, I was like, can we just be bitchy for an hour and a half? Like, I know that we're all, lovely people with good intentions and mothers and this, that, the other thing. We're supposed to be like above board when we go to a dry lunch on a weekday. But like, can we just pretend that we're not? And be ourselves for like an hour and 20 minutes and just like get in the gutter. And I had the best time. Once we all decided that it was going to be that kind of a lunch and we started like leaning into the booth and speaking in a hushed tone, that's when I knew I was going to have a good time. And I really implore the women listening at home, next time you have to go to a fucking lunch or a fucking cocktail or a fucking coffee, like make the decision with your loved ones that it's not going to be nice and you're going to have a better time. Like you're going to enjoy yourself more, Something about saying terrible, heinous things with people that you love and trust. Is there a better way to spend the day? There's not. There's just simply not. So this is like my favorite little news story of the week, okay? I was on TikTok this morning on the turlet, little backed up, back to the nines. And I saw this TikTok about, I'm not I'm going to be honest, I'm not like super up to speed on like New York influencers or influencers in general. I know all the hot ticket ones, okay? But I'm like not into, maybe it's just a geographical thing. We've brushed calves here and there, thunder thighs, but I'm not in the mix at all. I'm not in the mix at all. I don't have one influencer friend. Like my friends have normal fucking jobs. My friends like work in corporate America or are stay-at-home moms. Like I'm not at events doing the thing. So it's very easy for me to talk shit from the convenience of my home. You know what I mean? With a sensible waffle knit draped over my shoulders. So I see this TikTok about Danielle Bernstein, who I spoke about a couple weeks ago, sending her wedding guests affiliate links for pre-approved dresses that fit her wedding vibe aesthetic, which is the biggest LOL of all time. But if it couldn't get any more LOL, ruffle lolicopter, she goes on Instagram and she does an unboxing for her new off-white bridal mini Kelly, okay? And it's all the theatrics that you get from your atypical Hermes unboxing. Cut to me December 10th doing a mini Kelly unboxing. I still very much so think I'm going to get a leather appointment in Paris. I don't know why. I have like a whole psychological like warfare kind of approach. Do I want to spend that much money on a purse? Not particularly. Like I could get some beautiful marble tiles, some beautiful Murano glass, like light fixtures. But like if I was presented it, could I rationalize it as an investment and a tax write-off? Yes. Would it be a funny story? Yes. Would I do a cringy unboxing? I think I'd have to wait till next October to hit you with that. But alas, whatever. We love an Hermes unboxing. They're all over the place. And it's just so... It's so... And let this be more reasons to love Stassi Schroeder. Because if you didn't listen to the episode of me and her, of me inquiring about her rental Kelly, which she blatantly and openly and transparently was like, no, that's not mine. I'm stupid. I rented it. Never again. Okay. Back to Danielle Bernstein. She's doing this unboxing. She's saying that, she needed a bag for all of her wedding events. And she debuts a mini Kelly ivory palladium hardware, whatever. Failing to mention that perhaps she too is debuting a rental mini Kelly. Okay. So Vivrel, which is like a subscription designer bag company, comments on the reel/TikTok being like, so happy we are able to provide something borrowed for you with like a happy face. Okay. Cut to Danielle deletes the comment and it's all over TikTok that she's not acknowledging that this is a rental Kelly. Now, she didn't directly lie. She didn't say, I went to the Hermes store and my sales associate offered me this bag and I purchased it with my American Express card and I own it. Sure, she didn't say that, but she's definitely like omitting details and not being forthright in the fact that this is a mini Kelly. Now, these mini Kellys, if you don't have a leather appointment, you can go online. We're talking like 15 grand minimum for a bag that like barely holds your fucking phone. Some of these go upwards of like 30K. Okay. Like for whatever reason, mini Kellys are more expensive than like Birkin bags and they hold nothing. And it's like the hot bag of the moment, whatever. Okay. Not bitter, just better. And everyone is having a field day. So if you go on her Instagram or TikTok, everyone's like, came here to see the Vivrel comment. Now it's been deleted. It's not acknowledged. She's not copping to the rental. She's not copping to the borrow. Maybe she paid for it to rent it. We're not sure. But there is some type of epidemic. Okay, an influenza. I coined that term many moons ago, where people are projecting an image, okay, of people, places, and things that are just not as they are. You know what I mean? And it is difficult because when people are being gifted things and, so many handouts, so many perkies for the workies, okay? And your job is to curate a lifestyle, it gets a little awkward. It gets a little muddied waters. I just think all in all, keep it 100 and you'll never get in trouble. Look at me. I say atrocious things, okay? Atrocious, okay? I'm talking shit about someone for borrowing a mini Kelly, okay? I tried to hard launch the casual use of the word faggot like 8 months ago, okay? I went on camera, on mic, saying that I'm allowed to use the word faggot, and I stand by it. I stand by it. I have never encountered one person in the community that has looked at me and said, you can't say that. It's always some dumb white bitch, okay, named Emily, who's like, that's in poor taste. Too far with a 1-star review. This isn't for you. You can't say it. I sure as fuck can. You can't say it. You're married to your fucking cousin, okay? So that's a you thing. Anyways, what was I saying? Yeah, funny though. Bitchy funny. Okay, I'm very excited about this. As I've said, I am going to be pulling Luke's for this next leg of tour, okay? No more PJs, no more hotel robes, okay? We are going glam, baby. And whether you're going like sequins, loafers, feathers, gowns, who cares, fringe, or just looking for cute day-to-day wardrobe staples, there is no place better than Revolve. They have the widest selection of clothes and it is curated so well. There is something for everybody. It is both quantity and quality, baby. It is literally impossible not to find something that you love anytime you shop. I have been a Revolve girly for a very, very long time. My favorite thing about them is their recommended for you list, which get me every single time. I'm not joking. I have placed 4 orders from Revolve in this past week. If you live in Los Angeles, you get it next day. I got so hooked on all of their matching sets this morning while sweating my balls off in my sauna. I literally ordered 86 new sets because I'm just in my set girl era, and all the leather shorts. I've ordered 87 pairs of leather shorts from Evolve, and they've got feathers. I mean, they have every brand you could ever want at any price point you could ever want. They have some of my favorite brands. And if you are like me and you need to buy things to fill a void, then there is no place greater than Revolve. Whether it is a weekend away, a big night out, or just a little style refresh, your dream wardrobe is just one click away. Head to revolve.com/bitch, shop my edit, and take 15% off your first order with code bitch. They literally never do discounts, so get this 15% off while you can. There is fast 2-day shipping, easy returns. It's literally the only place you need to shop from. That is revolve.com/bitch to shop my favorites and get 15% off your first order with code bitch. Offer ends October 14th. So happy shopping, everybody. This episode is brought to you by IQ Bar, our exclusive snack sponsor. IQ Bar is the better-for-you plant protein-based snacks made with brain-boosting nutrients to refuel, nourish, and satisfy hunger without the sugar crash. Everyone's been screaming at me to get more protein lately, and I just couldn't figure out how to do it without eating 14 boiled chicken breasts a day. Whether you're a protein fiend or just a mama bear on the go, there's no better snack than IQ Bars. They're packed with plant protein, and they actually taste good. Their chocolate sea salt bar is my fave. It doesn't have any artificial sweeteners like so many other bars. The best part is that I genuinely feel good after eating them. No sugar crash or upset stomach. I keep 6 in my car fridge at all times. IQ Bars plant protein bars are packed with high quality ingredients to help keep you physically and mentally fit. IQ Bar is totally free from gluten, dairy, soy, GMOs, and artificial sweeteners for a natural anytime snack. With over 20,000 5-star reviews and counting, more people than ever are starting their days on the right foot with IQ Bars, brain and body boosting bars, hydration mixes, and mushroom coffees. Right now, IQ Bar is offering our special podcast listeners 20% off all IQ Bar products, plus get free shipping. To get your 20% off, text Bible to 64,000. Text Bible to 64,000. That is Bible to 64,000. Message and data rates may apply. See terms for details. Okay, wait. I know that the summer turned, what is it called? The summer I turned pretty is over, obviously. And I have gone into grave detail about my stance, Team Conrad, which I think is like 99.9% of the world. Like, if you're not, you need, okay. I need anyone that is Team Jeremiah to raise your fucking hand and then bash your head into a wall because you're a stupid fucking bitch. I have had the grandiose misfortune of finding his Instagram account. I can't remember his name. What is it? Gavin? I don't care. This, oh God, see, I shouldn't say things like this. His name is Gavin Casalegno. Okay, how am I going to put this nicely? First of all, he is the most unfuckable person on the internet right now. I have done a deep dive. He's like setting his curls with like those little clips that women wear to like not get creases when they put their makeup on. Like, I don't know how to say this lovingly. Some men that pretend to be, well, no, okay. Some men need to get punched in the face. It's not that he has mashed potato face. It's that he looks undercooked, okay? And he's a little too tan, and he's a little too curly, and he's a little too coiffed, and he's a little too like cookie cutter. Like, this is a guy, and I say this lovingly because he's going to have a beautiful career, and he's on a hit show, and like, life has not had its way with him at all, and it shows on his face. Like, he needs to get dick punched. You can't explain it. I would say this about my own son at a certain point. I've met so many people in life, family members even, where I'm like, you know what? You need to get socked once, okay? Just once for a little life grit. I always say to my sister, and it doesn't need to be physical. It could just be like a mental socking too, just in some form. Life has to toss you around a little bit to give you some grit, to give you some sea legs for the universe, okay? Because he looks like a little bitch ass, okay? Like, I know that at any point in time, I could berate him for basically anything. He looks like someone who has like a stuffed animal. He looks like an adult who has a lovey. You know what I mean? And I don't mean that in a good way. Like, his little tank tops and his little like get ready with me's and his little like his reels. If I was his older sister, I'd say, listen, Gav, okay, it's a big bad world out there. And then I would just punch him in the dick and be like, you're welcome. I tell my sister all the time that the only reason that she has tools is because I lovingly bullied her, because my parents treated her with kid gloves because they were so worried because she was so temperamental and emotional. And all she needed was to be treated like a functioning member of society. Okay. And it made her normal. It gave her grit. It gave her resilience. She's so well adjusted now. Thank God for me. Okay. Because she needed it. My parents were too close to it. They couldn't see long term. I knew. I'm like, this bitch is gonna be a fucking terrorist. It's why her nickname at age 6 was Osama bin Linda. Her name is Ashley. We're not gonna get into it. I don't have a reason for it, but her nickname was Linda. And then it became Osama bin Linda. Okay. Then it became the bloodsucker. My mom would joke that she was a bloodsucker because she would suck the life out of every room because she was so emotionally entitled and emboldened to bring down the energy of a room because of her feelings that she couldn't get out of it until I fucking pulled her. And I was like, listen. Listen, Gavin, where was I going with that? The most unfuckable man on the planet, Jeremiah Conklin. Cannot deal. Cannot fucking deal. What a pussy. Okay. And before you say anything about my casual use of the word pussy has nothing to do with gender or genitalia. It is derived from the term Pusillanimous, I think, or something of that. Pusillanimous, something like that, okay? Which means cowardly. It has no correlation. Don't come for me, Gloria Steinem. Don't come for me, Emrata. I'm a feminist. It's hard out here on these streets. Okay, we need to talk about Lisa Barlow too. We got to talk about Lisa Barlow. Which gays in Salt Lake City did she piss off? I've got glam in Monaco. I have glam. You need to fire all of them. This confessional look where she's wearing like kind of like a burnt orange or a red. One of her eyes is popping and one is not popping. It's like they only did one of the eyes. And the braids, it's like very like it's like me on my Carnival cruise when I was 13 years old. And you know what it is with Lisa Barlow? First of all, she's a star. Okay. She is so entertaining and she's so funny and has no idea. Like she is not in on the joke at all. And that is like my kink. That is my favorite brand of humor, especially with housewives, when they think they're just beloved, but they don't understand that they're beloved because like we think that they're insane. You know what I mean? It's kind of like the Ramona factor. Some of these women are in on the joke and embrace it. Lisa Barlow thinks she's in on the joke, but she's actually not in on the joke. It's so, I don't even know what the word is. It's so meta. Like I can't even break it down. Like you either just understand what I'm talking about or you don't. What I need to know is who did that eyeshadow to her where one of her eyes is like fully lined with a smudge and one of them just isn't. Like something is going on over there, okay? And the constant conversation of like how glamorous her life is and how rich she is and all the celebrities that she's with. Do me a favor. I've said this 600 times. If you want the ride of your life, and I understand that this was filmed a couple years ago, maybe she's in a new place, doubtful, but whatever. Go watch Lisa Barlow's home tour. It's what I tell all of my friends to do. It's the first thing that I send anybody that starts watching Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. I'm like, watch this, okay? Just watch it. The way that she is glamorizing her home with nothing on the walls. And it's the craziest thing I have ever seen in my entire fucking life. And it's so easily debunkable. You know what I mean? And her just being like, I don't live like the rest of you guys. Like, I live a very different life. No, you don't. No, you don't. You're on the same cast, okay? And like, I'm sorry. I said, I asked AI, I said, what is Lisa Barlow's net worth? Only because I don't like discussing other people's finances. But if you're going to bring that to the table, like you're Imelda Marcus, okay, and you're so above it and you're rich on a yacht and you have glam and this, that, the other thing, you better be stacked, honey. Now, Google is saying that she is worth $5 million. Now, obviously, $5 million is a lot of money. I don't know that makes you, I don't want to talk about this because now it's like some overprivileged white girl talking to a microphone about like what constitutes as being rich. First of all, wealth whispers. We all know it. If you really have financial security, you just don't, I don't want any cousins coming out of the woodworks. I just think that if you got even just the tiniest bit of a nut, you shut the fuck up, okay? And you keep it to yourself. I know this because when I was the most broke that I have ever been in my life, I was actively trying to pretend that I had a nice lifestyle. I was the first person to hyperflex on these hoes. I'm talking 10 years ago. No, and I see it so clearly. I'm like, what was I doing? Because I don't consider myself an insecure person, but I can look at that person being me and be like, what was I doing? And I think I was just so genuinely scared of being a loser and what I thought a loser was, which is like no real opportunities, like nothing to show for anything, no direction, no talents, no skill set, no education. I was like, oh my God, I am that person. I don't I'm going to either have to like marry someone I can fully depend on, go to Cedars-Sinai, listen for the beeps, find someone terminally ill to just like razzle dazzle with conversation until they die and leave me on anything. I just didn't know. I was listless. I had no direction. So I think I was insecure about that. And all of my friends were going to like universities and were, like going to get good jobs. It was a very different time back then. Like if you didn't go to college in, 2008, like 2000s, early 2000s, it was kind of just assumed that you were going to live on a mattress in your parents' basement and like have bad highlights and like work at Wet Seal if you're fucking lucky. And that was kind of looking like my trajectory. See, I made Lisa Barlow about me, but like it's like she has zero ability to like self-reflect. Like she has zero self-awareness, which is my favorite thing in a housewife, and I hope it never changes, but it's wild to watch. Okay, it's wild to watch. And like, is she a smoker? Was she a smoker? I'd like to know about that too, because she doesn't have one person in her life that was going to tell her the truth, and it's showing. It's showing. God bless her. God bless Lisa Barlow. By the way, I'd put her on the Housewives Mount Rushmore, but she is diabolically insane. And I am obsessed with her and those bulging eyeballs and those little fucking braids. And I don't live a life like the rest of you. Unfucking real. No notes, Lisa Barlow, except lots of fucking notes. Get some art on your goddamn walls. Thank you so much. I'd like to say that in general, nothing really scares me. I'm pretty good at like staying cool, calm, collected under pressure. But if there's one thing that makes my spine shiver, okay, it's Clyde when he's hungry. He's already like so wild. And when he wants to eat, he literally turns into baby Godzilla. And in a pinch, it's not like I have time to tell him to chill while I make him something from scratch. That is why I'm so grateful for Little Spoon for keeping Clyde fed and me sane. Clyde loves literally every snack from Little Spoon, especially the Pizzalicious veggie loops. Okay. But right now the big hit is the chicken dunkers lunchers. Clyde thinks it's like nuggets, but the secret is it's loaded with hidden veggies, and I didn't have to peel, chop, or beg anyone to take a bite. We both win. The recipes are made with pediatricians, packed with hidden veggies, and somehow my kid still asks for seconds, thirds, fourths, fifths. It makes everything so easy. There's no artificial flavors, sweeteners, or dyes. It's the rare combo of like convenient and healthy. Plus, Little Spoon is the first baby and toddler food company to set strict, publicly available standards for heavy metals, pesticides, and more in their food for peace of mind. It's so nice always having a meal on deck that you know that your kid is going to eat, that is safe, that is high quality. I love Little Spoon so much, and I'm so happy they are a sponsor of this podcast and that I get to share them with you. Little Spoon is the mealtime hack parents can't stop talking about. Try their no prep, nutrient-packed meals and snacks for babies, toddlers, and big kids. Get 50% off your first online order at littlespoon.com/Bible with code BIBLE at checkout. That is LITTLESPOON.com/Bible. Don't forget to use our show's code for 50% off your first order. Wait, also, if you want to have the time of your life, okay, we're back. She's in a chartreuse cardigan. Oh my God, I'm chewing gum. That is so unprofessional. Lights, camera, and me without a stitch of makeup on and a stick of Wrigley's. Get out of here. We talked about Lisa Barlow's house tour. If you want the house tour, now pop over to JLo's Instagram account, okay, and watch the video she just posted with a like behind the scenes tour of her West Hollywood office. There is a neon sign that says good vibes only, and like some weird 2012 Restoration Hardware chandelier within the iron orbit. If you know, you know. And it's just another thing I can't sleep over. Like Jennifer Lopez, all the access in the world, okay? A star. And still hawking undersized dust ruffle love seats from Rachel Ashwell Target diffusion line. Like, I'll never understand her home decor choices. It's like, at what point do you phone a friend? Because you know that it's not like she's mood boarding her interiors. She hired someone and authorized, and I just can't believe when rich people make ill-informed decisions with all the access in the world. It blows my fucking mind. Also, what blows my fucking mind, I just took my son to the park. Sit with it for a second. I went to Target this morning on a Sunday morning, which is maybe the darkest moments of my life. I had to pick up some Bona, which is a hardwood floor cleaner, a new mop, and it's a post-facelift gift. You know what? This is like Rachel Hollis adjacent. Remember during COVID? I think her name was Rachel Hollis. If I'm fucking that up, please forgive me. Is Rachel Hollis like a girl I went to middle school with? Sometimes I fuck this up so badly. Whatever her name was. She was like kind of an influencer, motivational speaker, whatever. And she went on Instagram Live and she started talking about like the people that clean her toilets. And she got ruthlessly canceled because she's like, I don't want to be relatable. I don't want to clean my own toilets. I have people for that. And everyone just fucking eviscerated her. I mean, amidst like a global pandemic, people are dying. And she's like talking about how it is her goal to not be relatable. It was just, she's not. When people do that shit, you better be funny, you better be sarcastic, and you better be plugged into the world, okay? And saying something as a joke and being like condescending about it is two very different things. But is it a post-facelift gift basket? Sure is, okay? Also, I had to go get some laundry detergent because I am boots on the ground this week. Did I have to call my sister to come over to teach me how to use the dishwasher yesterday? Of course not. And by of course not, I mean, yes, because I nearly flooded the kitchen yesterday because there are so many buttons, and who knew you had to press on, then you have to press normal, then you have to press start, then you have to put the pod in the thing, but then the pod, I put it in the wrong thing. So it was just running water, but then nothing was clean. It's also taxing. I have many gifts. Okay. Too many, some might say. And, you know, it's just not for me. I'm not good at it. I'm great at word salads, casual verbal abuse at a park because I got to keep those weapons sharp. I just took Clyde to the park. First, we went to Target to get some supplies. Okay. I also got like a Magnolia Home, wait for it, like bath cart tray thing, which is yikes. And I got Clyde a Melissa and Doug shape sorting toy. I got some a Bona mop, some non-toxic laundry detergent because the one that I ordered from Amazon doesn't come till Tuesday, and I've got to do a load of laundry. Okay. Hopefully I don't flood the fucking house. And then we decided that we would saunter off to the YMCA park, and these two little shitheads. Okay. Clyde is like trying to climb up this little rock wall. There she is. My wires got crossed there for a second. He's trying to climb up this rock wall and like do the little bridge and go down the slide. And I'm not a hovercraft. You know, I'm a FAFO kind of mom. Fuck around and find out. But I'm like watching, supervising, not trying to have him get kidnapped. And these two, like maybe, I would say they're like 10 years old. They had just finished a baseball game, and Clyde is on like the toddler kind of park, like the toddler playground, I should say. So they're definitely too old to be at this playground. And Clyde was wearing a very adorable mini Rodini purple sweatsuit. Okay. And these two boys are like, how old is she to me? And I said, oh, he's a boy. It's, you know, and are we going to now get into a gender conversation? Am I going to get those DMs? If he decides something later, we'll bridge the gap. For now, you know. Okay, so I'm like, oh, he's a boy and he's just turned 2. And they're like, why is he wearing a purple sweatshirt? And I was like, well, I didn't even know what to say. I wanted to be like, why do you look so fucking inbred? Why are your parents fucking cousins? Like, why are your parents cousin fuckers? Why do you have an overbite? Why do you need dental work? Why are you wearing that dorky haircut? Okay. Like, what you want to play this game, you little bitch ass, you little inbred fuck? And I'm like, well, he likes it. And, you know, he wears all colors or something like that. I wanted to say, I don't see color. Remember when, Sutton Strack, God bless her. I was like, yeah, he wears all colors, you know? And they're like, haha. And then they started like, he was on this this bridge, okay? And they both started jumping on either side of Clyde so that he was kind of like losing his balance. And they're like, nah, nah. And they were like kind of like low-key bullying him. And I looked around, I was like kind of looking for the parents, and I kind of just let it happen because like Clyde is like having fun. He's laughing, he's engaging his core, and I was gonna say something, and then I just didn't, and I let it ride out, and they were going, nah! And I had an urge to take my fucking purse and whack them both upside the head and say, get the fuck away from my son. Okay, you toxic, heteronormative, inbred little fucks. But instead, like a lady, I pursed my lips, I clutched my little cashmere J. Crew cardigan, and I said nothing and let it pass, and I let Clyde defend himself, and he kind of shoved them to the side and then went down the slide and came and found me. And I just, I watched, I supervised, I hovercrafted, but did I have an inkling to punch both of those children in the face? Yes, I did. Red Rover, call CPS right on over, baby. You have probably seen a million ads for hair growth products hawked online by influencers with silky, shiny hair that they paid hundreds of dollars for. And if you're anything like me, you've thought, sure, like that actually works. I did too until I found Nutrafol. Nutrafol is a cut above the rest because they are physician formulated, clinically tested, and dermatologist recommended. Nutrafol is the #1 dermatologist recommended hair growth supplement brand, trusted by over 1.5 million people. You can feel great about what you're putting into your body since Nutrafol hair growth supplements are backed by peer-reviewed studies and are NSF Contents certified, the gold standard in third-party certification for supplements. Now, while many supplements rely solely on ingredient studies, Nutrafol clinically tests final formulations to ensure their efficacy. Adding Nutrafol into your daily routine is so simple. You purchase online, no prescription required, automated deliveries and free shipping keep you on track. Plus, with a Nutrafol subscription, you can save up to 20%, and you will have access to a free one-on-one naturopathic doctor consults to support your hair growth journey. See thicker, stronger, faster growing hair with less shedding in just 3 to 6 months with Nutrafol. For a limited time, Nutrafol is offering our listeners $10 off your first month subscription and free shipping when you go to Nutrafol.com and enter the promo code Bible. Find out why Nutrafol is the best-selling hair growth supplement brand at Nutrafol.com, spelled Nutrafol.com, promo code Bible. That is Nutrafol.com, promo code Bible. I gotta say, it's turning into Grey Gardens up in this joint, okay? I mean, Leo, like, I haven't been great about his eye ointment. He's shitting all over the place. He's got no respect for authority. Clyde's wiping his boogers everywhere. The crumbs are everywhere. There's just, I'm drowning. I'm drowning, okay? On a week that I should be reflecting. Anyways, I just went and had a gorgeous mercury-clad lunch, and I was sitting next to this couple, and it blew my mind, okay? They were very obviously married. They were talking about their children, but like the tone and the cadence of their conversation was so cordial that, like, I don't know if I'm just such a raging cunt that it baffled me to my core, but I was so locked and loaded on this couple's correspondence. And there's no other way to say it because it wasn't even, it felt like tense to me. But then I started really psychoanalyzing it. I'm like, is it tense, or is this just what like lovely people do? Because like Andrew is a lovely person, but I'm not a lovely person. Like I'm, turbo. So if Andrew and I are like at a meal together, I'm talking shit about people. I'm berating somebody somewhere, somehow. Obviously, like no one that would work at a restaurant. Like I'm not like berating wait staff. That's disgusting. You can ask around about me. I'm a national treasure. Okay. I'm talking like family members, friends, Andrew, whoever, talking shit about floating shelves. I don't know. But just like the way that they were speaking to each other was so insane. she was like, Michael, do you like the Toro? He was like, this is really good. Yeah, we should come back here. Yeah, we should. Maybe one day we'll take the kids here. Yeah, I think they'd love it. Well, what do you think we should do this weekend? Perhaps we should take the kids to the pumpkin festival. Yeah, that sounds great, honey. What about, how about Saturday afternoon? Sure thing, hon. I think the weather's going to be nice. That sounds great. Yeah, we could get some pumpkins. Then maybe we could get some Italian food and maybe do a movie night with the kids. Yeah, that sounds great, sweetheart. I love that. Would you like some more ginger? Let me get that for you. Yeah, here, let me pass you the soy sauce. Can I try a bite of your spicy scallop? Of course, honey. Like, it was so crazy. I'm like, are they fucking other people or what is happening? So foreign to me. So foreign to me. I have been up since 1 a.m. I would just like to go on record and let everybody know I woke up at 1 a.m. 1 a.m. 1 a.m. and never fell back asleep. You know, I'm a light sleeper, and if I don't follow a very vigorous nighttime routine, I'm up at 1:20 a.m. and then I never fall back asleep. So I woke up and I'm tossing, I'm turning, I'm sweating, I'm thinking, I'm breathing, I'm thinking, I'm tossing, I'm turning. And I had this like really deep thought at like 4 a.m. because, you know, every time you check the clock, I'm like, has it been 15 minutes or has it been 6 hours? And usually it's been like 6 hours. And I was like having one of my long look inwards at 4 a.m. and I was thinking about feelings and or lack thereof. And I was trying to think, like, what hurts my feelings? And I could not come up with anything that would like genuinely hurt my feelings. Like, I don't like being told what to do. I don't like being disrespected or undermined or talked down to. But if we're really like talking about feelings, like what would someone say that would hurt my feelings? It would never be about me. If someone said something about somebody I love, that wouldn't hurt my feelings. That would just really piss me off. But as far as like if someone said something about my body, my face, my jaw, like anything, I don't know that it would hurt my feelings. And that's just something I would like to share with you. Anyways, I spoke to Heather McMahon this morning. If you're not privy, I mean, I shouldn't be even discussing this. I'm going to let her discuss it on her podcast, which I'm sure she will fucking kill and murder. So, friend of life and friend of the show, Heather McMahon, A+ comedian, very dear friend of mine. We're going to Paris, y'all. That's the silver lining of this story. I talked to her last night and she's like, are you aware that I'm being violently canceled? I said, Heather, I'm not aware that you're being violently canceled. What did you do? And now when she tells me this, I'm like, there's no way in hell Heather's getting fucking canceled. Okay. Like it's not happening. She's like, Google me. So I Google. She didn't say that, by the way. Now I'm making her sound like a huge cunt. And I can't, we can't cancel on cancel. So she basically gives me the rundown of what happened. She was hosting this golf tournament and the crowd started kind of like chanting like, fuck you, Rory, which is one of like an Irish golfer. I'm not like up to date with sports, so bear with me on this little recap, okay? So she's trying to like encourage them to say other things. And then finally, and I'm paraphrasing here, she's kind of like, okay, fuck it. Fuck you, Rory. Says it like one time, okay? But because the crowd was booing her for trying to, initiate a more positive spirit. And now it is Heather, I'm so sorry. I empathize with you. I love you so much. But did I cry laughing? Yes, I did. And I said to her, I go, Heather, under no circumstances should you apologize. We forward pedal. Okay. You are not taking this one up the ass because the articles are making it like she was like leading the chant, heckling him. And I guess like people in the crowd, nothing to do with Heather, were like, screaming homophobic remarks, this, that, the other thing. Can you imagine the audacity? Okay. The audacity. And now she's like bearing the brunt of all of this shit. And she's just like, what the fuck? And the articles are crazy. And her DMs are crazy. And I just said to her, I'm like, imagine Imagine this happened to someone who doesn't have a good sense of humor. You know what I mean? It would be like full 5150. But like let it be a lesson. If you have a sense of humor, anything and everything is funny to a degree. Almost, I would say like 99.9% of everything can be funny with a little like time and breath work. And anyways, I stand in solidarity with my sister, Heather McMahon. So yeah, there's that. So to kind of preemptively kickstart Off-Brand October, and just because I have a lack of conversational talking points because I am so feeble, so broken, so underslept, so just out of my element, that we will be doing a very sad Ask Jacques Anything, an AMA, if you will, for the broken. By the way, the first response to the Ask Me Anything, Kill Me is Heather. I got canceled today. Thank you for the alert once again. Fall fashion. I'm feeling uninspired. Dare I say we integrate chartreuse back into the drawing board? As you can see today, right off Wanda over here, I am wearing a gorgeous new silk Celine jumpsuit. Jackie Schimmel loves a one piece. I like a long sleeve romper and I like a jumpsuit, okay? I don't care if they're in, they're out, they're over, they're sideways. I don't give a fuck. I love a jumpsuit. And I'm really into this like ugly, slimy green color. I believe the kids call it chartreuse. I'm not like a fall trend person. I like embellishment. I like colors. I'm looking right now for like a burgundy pair of like wide leg kitten heel boots with like a dipped knee, not to be overly specific, kind of like Kate adjacent, but burgundy. And I want it to be like wide so that my legs look like they're just swimming in suede. You know what I'm saying? Okay. I'm single and I live an expensive life, but don't understand why I have to work every day. Preaching to the choir. It's so overrated, guys. I mean, I know we're all trying to break through that glass ceiling, but like, I don't want to. You know what I want to do? Fucking retire. I want to spend all of Andrew's money, exclusively Andrew's money, on whatever I want, whenever I want. Okay, without any conversation or consequences. That's my fucking dream. Where do you see yourself in 10 years? That's where I see myself in 10 years. But I'll be in Irvine next week, October 7th, thebitchbible.com/tour. Facelifts and when to do one. I'm not sure. I gotta say this. I'm kind of off Botox. I haven't done filler yet, although my nurse said that a little filler in my chin would really change my life. So I'm thinking about it, but I'm just kind of over it. I think that like everyone did too much a few years ago and everyone's face kind of looks the same. The lips, the nose, the cheeks, everyone's kind of a version of the same thing. And I'd rather be just like a little bit uglier than everybody else, but have like a unique face. And by unique, I mean like not great, but I don't know. What do I wear to BravoCon and would you ever go? No, I would, unless I was like doing a panel or something, but I don't know that I would go as an attendee. I don't want to fly too close to the sun and just like wear whatever you want. I think jeans and a t-shirt with some cute shoes and a cute bag will do. I mean, you don't want to be the most dressed up person in the audience. I find that to be just, it's, you know what it says? It says, I don't get out much. And if that's your truth, then live it. But never the look I'm really going for. Selena got married. Okay. I know. Oh my God. You know what I'm going to do, by the way? So the Taylor Swift album is coming out conveniently at Yom Kippur. And my friend Kelly was telling me that she's doing like a movie and we don't really know like the details. It's an hour and a half. It's from like October 2nd to October 5th. You know what I did last night at 3 a.m.? I bought tickets. I'm going on Friday at 1 p.m. and I'm going to sit alone and I'm just going to watch it. For nothing else, it will be research and I'm curious. I'm a woman with my finger on the pulse. Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. We kind of already touched on it. I finished it last night. I watched it again because I feel like I wasn't like really actively participating. First of all, my heart yearns for Mary. I feel so bad about Mary and her son and just I think it's very brave that they share that. I would do absolutely anything for her to get an organizer. She's got it. We've got to streamline all the stuff. Like when she was filming, all I could see was hair products and like mirrored Z Gallery credenzas. And I just was losing my mind. Like I could not focus because all I could see were things everywhere. And it's distracting. Lisa Barlow. Oh, sorry. I keep looking out the window if you're watching the video because I have to get a couple of these steel doors repaired. This door hardware. Okay, I can't even tell you how much money I spent on this fucking door hardware. And they're both broken. Both are broken. And the guy that installed these steel doors, okay, you have 72 hours to respond to me. Just kidding. I have text messaged him 5 times. I'm not even trying to solicit free work. I just wanted to see if maybe he could come back and repair the door handles because the 2 steel doors that he installed are the ones that are not working. And I'm having 75 people over for Yom Kippur. And I don't want people going to the backyard through my fucking bedroom because the doors are fucking broken. And I've texted him 3 times, okay, over the course of 3 months being like, hey, these door handles are broken. You installed them. Would it be possible for you to come by, have a look and repair? No response. Red. Again, no response. Red. If I told you how much money I spent installing these doors and door handles, I mean, I could throw up and die. I feel like I got fucked up the ass with a Baldwin unlacquered brass handle, and I'm upset about it. Anyways, so I have someone else coming to fix them for good old Yom Kips. Let's see. Gout Dick. That's where I was going with this. Gout Dick. Lisa Barlow. She said, I mean, I know we already covered it. I don't really remember what I said, but like, I live a life that like most of you guys don't, like, you don't understand. Like, I live a very different life. You literally don't. You literally don't have things on the walls. Okay. You have you have furniture. You have a furniture set. Like, you don't live a life. Like, that's not true. And if it is true, you keep that to yourself. I was with Ben Affleck and Blake Lively. Literally, nobody cares. Okay. Do you know the stories I could tell? Would never. You know why? Because I'm not Lisa Barlow. It's too weird. It's insufferable. And I can't. Dining room chandeliers. Interesting question, Miranda. Now, if we can learn one thing from the Jennifer Lopez office tour, it's that a chandelier in a steel orbit is so 2007. You have to be very careful with a dining room chandelier. You don't want to get too crystally. You don't want to get too Gretchen Rossi, Sheena Shea adjacent. You don't want to do like a linear Pottery Barn lantern thing. Not ideal. It's very difficult. You have to, you know what I would do? If it's you can't go wrong with Murano glass, and that's just the truth. Wait, also another note about dining room light fixtures, because I feel very passionately about this. I think you have to also consider what your dining room table is. So if your dining room table is glass, that's cold. You don't want like an overly glass light fixture. Do you know what I'm saying? But if it's like wood, maybe you counterbalance that with like a glass, Murano glass, or like some type of a crystal-y situation. But you have to be very, very careful with crystal because you're one click away from Z Gallery. And we should all be actively pursuing an anti-Z Gallery aesthetic, if you know what I'm saying. So if it's crystal, like maybe it's vintage crystal, like a little smoky crystal with the wood table. And then you have to consider chairs too. Are the chairs fabric? That's warm. So maybe we go cold with a light fixture. But if you have like brass, like lucite chairs with a glass table, which is, by the way, disgusting, burn it. Then you're not doing like a crystal chandelier that's like too much glass and ice and cold, freezing, burr. And just like lanterns as a whole, I think maybe we just don't. You know what I'm saying? What else is there? What is there? Lots of gout dick. If I had $1 for every time somebody wrote gout dick to me. Why weren't you at Lady World? Wasn't asked, not taking it personally, also not trying to go anywhere ever. I've spent enough time in Florida, but it looked like a blast. Are you friends with Tim Dillon? Yes, I love Tim Dillon, very much so. dream guest. I don't have one, to be totally honest. I prefer doing them by myself. Mom's swearing. I'm always going to swear in front of my son. It's, I would like to prepare him for the real world. I don't want to say gosh darn it in front of him. I don't want to insult him. As long as he's not cussing at me or in other people's homes or at school, I'm kind of okay with him cussing in the house as long as it's respectful and well done. Cow print, not for me. Not for me. I don't know if that's in reference to like outfits. I've seen like a lot of sets, like people are like wearing cow print. I don't want to dress like a cow. Like tiger, roar. Leopard, sure. A cow, I don't want to be milked. So no thank you. Cults, no comment. Haven't been in one. Not looking to start one, honestly. But no. Give the people a recipe. Well, you sit tight, little lassies, because if you think last week I didn't film not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 recipes in under an hour and a half, you're dead ass wrong, and you're going to be getting all of them. All of them. The pickling princess is sharing her goddamn secrets. So get ready, okay? And on that note, by the way, the guys that are here that are fixing my door are so fucking gorgeous. Like the hottest guys I've ever seen in my life. Like blue eyes. Ugh. Like a gorgeous, like tan. Ugh. Stunning. Anyways, like not even blue, like green, like hazel. Pound these hazel eyes. I'm gonna go serve them up some lemonade. Anyways, thank you so much for listening. Please go to thebitchbible.com/tour and buy tickets because I really am done come November 15th. And I promise you, like I'll look you dead in the eyes. My last tour fucking sucked. Fighting for my life. It was terrible. It was ill-planned. I wasn't ready. I was too green. She's ready now. Okay. I have run this show now 10 times. It is finessed. It is practiced. It has been in the works since I was, 7 years old, and it's fucking great. You don't have to listen to the podcast to get it. It's campy. It's weird. It's like a case study. It's not stand up. It's diabolical. It's toxic. It's disturbing in the best ways. And it's a fucking ride. So I hope to see you there. If not, have a great week, everybody. Goodbye. Thank you.